Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I did the countdown pretty well that time, I gotta say, because last week, if anyone was here, they probably remember I ran the countdown, but Kiko, I did it for 10 seconds. But the problem is, by the time I clicked it and clicked go live, it counts down on Melon automatically from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it was pretty much synced perfectly. So by the time the countdown ended, we were officially live. So this time Dean knows, but this time I got it right. I added 20 seconds on there just for show. So guys, thank you so much for joining us this fine Friday, June 2nd of 2023. Guys, we're officially like halfway through the year. Isn't that pretty crazy? Halfway through 2023. That can't be real. Am I right about this? Am I wrong? I mean, technically I'm right? I mean, do you guys feel like we're halfway? I mean, think about all the Hot Toys and all the other figures that have come out this year, right? Yeah. We're only halfway through the year. Think of all the goodness you're going to get. Think of all the budget you're going to spend on these figures.
Think about all the disappointment that you're about to
embark
on. So there's nothing better than me like, oh man, it's been such a great year, only for it to crash and burn. And you're like, man.
Well, you got another half a year disappointment. So
that's correct.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I guess that's glass half empty instead of half full. But I guess
I do want to address Riley because
what
apparently if he would lift a little heavier objects and work on them arms, he could work on his carnage. Apparently, he said, try not to break my carnage. So he messaged me and it's like, how do I get these arms out? I was like, you grab the figure and pull. That's essentially it. So essentially it reminds me of just like I was like, so Riley,
the noise is perfect.
Pull it out.
Dude, by the way, I had trouble too, Kiko, so maybe I need to work on mine as well. I did not swap them. I told Riley, I was like, I'm not fucking with it. But I don't think you're going to break it because my forearm was kind of coming out anyway.
Yeah, they're so thick.
Yeah,
it's
not like Ahsoka where you're going to snap it if you look at it wrong. Like Carnage, if you pull it, you're not. It's a jointed figure. You're not going to break it like that.
Correct. So good luck, buddy.
Pull on that fucker. And also, if you got it from, I think you got it from Off the Racks or Sideshow or something. So they're going to cover you. So if you break something, just go for it, bro. So we should be good. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining June 2nd, 2023. Very, very exciting. Going to lead into the weekend nice here on this fine Friday. That said, we got to address our Avengers level panel before we get to our chat and our topics. Mr. Kiko, what is up with the username, sir? Because you're going to have to explain this.
Yeah, apparently. So I guess I'm on here every other week at this point because there's just more and more weddings and crazy things. But as you know, last week was ICCC. So I was away with Dave, and we'll talk about it at the end of the show. But there is, drum roll, there's video content actually coming to the channel of a vlog that we did together of ICCC. So I was really excited about that. There's the entire cast of the Daredevil from there, Vincent D'Onofrio, Charlie Cox, the Rebels crew from Star Wars, lots of good stuff. And so we walked the vendor floor, and we had a good time there. But you're like, what's the username for Keco Collected? Well, Sunday night I had an incident. I had something in me that told me I needed to challenge Howard Chan for the belt in OSW. If no one knows what I'm talking about, Nick Collectibles runs OSW Wrestling, and I challenged Howard for the belt, and I put my collection on the line for a title shot because I felt that confident to do so. And Will, you came out, you even tried to help me, but there's a few things I got distracted on. Before you know it, I took a single jointed elbow drop from the top rope, 1, 2, 3, and my collecting career is over at this moment. So
wow, I
went ahead and packed everything up. I have everything in storage and just waiting to hit that on a BST. So if you guys are looking for good deals on things, I guess we'll figure that out. But that's what's up. I collected, but I'm happy to talk about what's going on in the collection.
Well, I'd still be happy, Kiko, if you're here every other week, bro. Because if you're here every other week, then I feel like you're still hitting the weddings and you're still doing everything you need to do. So
I mean, in a perfect world, I should be back next week, but I just won't have a collection. So how that goes.
Right. Well,
this is the fake background behind me.
Yeah, that's a 3D background or something.
Yeah, I had to get rid of my Hot Toys collection, not my statues.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, because that Revan's too dope, bro. You can't get rid of that. So you almost made me buy that Malik, by the way. You almost made me buy that.
I mean, if they were USB bases, like to where you could light them up, because they're battery powered. But if you could USB them, those would be absolutely top line premier statues.
Yeah. Well, you could buy the adapters.
I ain't doing the fusion reactors very much. It's either all in or nothing. I'm not putting some janky ghetto ass battery wire thing into my premium format statue and just hoping that it doesn't work.
No one's telling you to buy a third party.
Buy the Toys Wonderland version.
Bro, if I can't go to like a normal store, I'm not buying something off like the black market. If I can't go to a normal store that has a return policy, I'm not going to get it.
Yeah, they have them at like Home Depot and shit.
Yeah, you could get it at T-Dubs. Yeah, you'll be fine, bro.
Wait. So, Will, I'm not handy,
Yeah.
so we barely was able to hang a shower curtain. So
We
if I went to Home Depot and said, "Hey, give me a fusion reactor," they point me on the right aisle. Do I have to assemble this thing, or does it literally fit in there? Tell me how this works, Dean.
Yeah, Zach had a few for his.
Because if assembly is required, I'm out.
No, you like plug it into the whatever accepts the battery, and then you plug that into the wall, and then it's on. You don't
send me a link in my DM.
Yeah, we're gonna need that, Dean. We're gonna need DMs on that one because I would definitely be interested too. And with the rep, I guess with the rep in the mod case, you have to run the wire out the case, but not.
And I know that currently with Hot Toys' new thing that they love these new USB features. Those thick ass cables, depending on your setup, I mean, regardless of your setup, you're gonna have to run those wires somehow, and they're not very pliable, and they don't look great, running up and down frames. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, happy to have you here either way, Kiko. I know you got some weddings to go to, but it's all good. We're gonna make it count. So, Dean the Dream, bro, how's your Friday going so far, man? Happy to have you here another Friday. The sex icon. I don't know if you knew that, Kiko. Dean is a sex icon, especially on the internet. So, OnlyFans.
Yeah, I've carved out a nice little corner of the internet for myself.
Nothing wrong with creating a kingdom, bro, for yourself.
Yeah. My Friday's going pretty good. I'm here. I'm hanging out with my homies, talking figures and doing a little art. So when are we
gonna collab, Dean? Because I'm gonna write a comic and you're gonna draw it, bro. That's what's gonna happen.
Dude, just send me whatever you're working on.
We're gonna get famous together, bro. We're gonna create the next what's a really good one? What's a really good, like, I've been thinking like an animated show. We want like the next Invincible.
I was gonna say, don't say Invincible. That is one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
Kiko like such a hater of Invincible.
I don't like Invincible either.
Really? What the fuck? Y'all are both kicked.
No, everyone's like, oh man, did you watch it? Did you watch it? How many episodes did you make it through? I'm like, none. It was that bad though. Hey, check this scene out where they just go crazy and kill all these people. What'd you think? I'm like, mid.
Damn.
Yeah. It's like, what if superheroes were crazy? It's like, yeah, like the Watchmen didn't do that, the Boys didn't do that, the show Heroes didn't do that. Like it's like such a done thing that I was like not even interested in watching it. Yeah.
Damn.
And then same thing, it's like, but you gotta see this scene. And I watched it, I was like, I guess, like,
I was more excited for the ad that was going to pop up halfway through.
This is fucking haters.
At least the ad is catered to me. So
that's true. Well, guys, anyway.
That's a good point.
Anyway, so before we move on, guys, let's address the chat real quick. We got some comments here. Mr. J was asking, very interested in the SoSo Toys John Lander discussion. I think they dropped the ball on those head sculpts. Hope the angry head with the laser eyes comes out great. Then I might not cancel my order. Oh, we will discuss. We shall discuss, sir. So thank you so much for the comment. Tragedy Tales, let's go, baby. Let's go. King Killa is here. Thanks so much. What's up, everyone? Missed the last stream. Oh, dude, happy to have you back, bro. Arashk Nima. I think I pretty much got that correct. Let's go. Love the streams, guys. Thank you so much. Ryan Smith is here. Hey, chaps. Keith Lee, 12-inch Moose Stream is here. Hello, community of collectors. My Soko Tano converted. Nice. Spider-Gwen on the way. Nice, dude. Wait, I won't spoil anything, but Spider-Gwen has a very big role in this new film. So I think there's going to be a lot of people on the hunt for that Spider-Gwen until they announce the new one. 12-inch Moose Stream got Wanda delivered DeLorean. Nice, bro. A.B. What's up? Mike Falla, what's up, bro? Mr. Exclamation Point. Love Mike, bro. Everyone excited for the Bat Week this week. Pretty much what it is, bro. We're going to talk about it. Sean Breeze, what is up? The man with the smooth voice himself. Sean Breeze, good to see you, bro. Collectible chats. Be real. Hola, family. What is up, sir? What is up? AJ Rusa, thank you so much, bro, for being a channel member, being awesome. And sorry if I miss channel members on here, guys. You have to let me know. Melon does not tell me like StreamYard does, so I happen to miss them from time to time. Batman Collectibles, yo, what is up, Batman Collectibles? FBJ, Erwin Torres. Riley Reviews, try not to break his carnage. We will talk about that. Riley did tell me it's figure of the year, so I'm going to hold him to it. Daniel, technically halfway would be the end of June. Well, technically, Daniel, but, who's technical on this show nowadays? So anyway, AJ Rusa is here, like I mentioned. Nathan, what is up, bro? The man, the diorama king himself. He, she, we, big boobs. Well, yo, what's up, mother uckers? What is up, bro? Joker J, Mark Attack is here. Larry Walker. Daniel, hey, Will, thanks for the discount on Aragorn pre-order. Dude, No problem, man. Happy to help you out. I'm glad the kid is helping people out like that. Kiko was robbed. Total BS right there. He won that match. Yeah, well, I tried to help, but
Can
Connor
I just
is
say about that again, though?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
love that that we were able to establish some great moves, such as the NRD, the non-refundable drop kick. That's Will's finisher, which is really good.
It's pretty cool.
And mine was the KKO. I really liked that. It's a modern version of the RKO. So whoever came out with those names, well done. Well done.
That's a nice play on words right there. I like that. And we got Fig Fade, one of the announcers here himself, one half of the OSW Tag Team Champions, Dean. Yeah. They cheated, though, I'm pretty sure. So, anyway, Zach Davenport tripping. What's up, bro? Lane Kramer is here. We got Charles Rubel. We got Yee. Philip the Fool. Thank you so much, guys, so much for joining. Let's jump into our first topic. Let's not waste any more time. I want to talk about something that I'm really excited about. I don't know about Mr. Kiko, though, because he's such a wild card. We got an InArt production update from Gandalf, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. InArt decided to post a video update, which I thought was really, really cool. I liked seeing it. It looks really, really good. Guys, I'm so excited for this figure. I'll get a better shot here on the screen so you don't have to see it in all of its darkness. But it looks great. The rooted hair looks great. The head sculpt looks great. The tailoring from what we did see looks pretty good. I think they showed the accessories as well. They mostly showed the head sculpts here, but they showed a bunch of different things. In this video, it's just the head sculpts, but in photos, they showed some of the accessories and such. Guys, let's ask the question here, and I'm going to post this comment here, and let me explain where I'm going with this topic, right? Because you're probably seeing this headline: is InArt the king of 1/6? Well, they've only released one figure, right? But we're talking about the king of quality of 1/6, right? Because they have released one figure, yes. However, this second figure, if this comes out looking as good as InArt is advertising it here, that's two bangers. That's two bangers out of two bangers. Two bangers out of two attempts, right? So at that point, is the quality here? Because I mean, look, I would argue this Gandalf is higher quality, at least at head sculpt and rooting hair and all that, than most Hot Toys. Not all Hot Toys, most Hot Toys, right? So my question is, are they the king? Because they're sure as hell charging like the king, right? Even though they've only released one figure, they got people's attention like the king. Kiko, I want to ask you the question. Is InArt going to become the king of 1/6 if they keep releasing bangers like this? What do you think?
No. Will you share the link that I sent in the private chat?
Yeah. Let me pull it up.
So this essentially is InArt right now. And you probably have seen these memes before. And I really hope I sent you a real link and not like a... Oh, okay, there it is. This is InArt. They are so excited. Cheers. We released Joker. But there they are at the bottom of the pyramid because they've released one figure. And I find it very funny that they're doing these victory laps and everything is always in the dark. Why are all these like photo products in the dark? Like, I understand you're trying to create an ambience particularly, but you can do a lot of manipulation in the dark when you're not getting it with real lighting and such. Well, we're just trying to recreate, you know, the way that sellers and, you know, collectors would like to display their figure. This is the way it'll probably look in your detail for Machi Space. Make sure to click out to where you can buy those for a discount. You know, perhaps they're possibly looking that. But when I saw side by side, it looked very soft compared to the, I guess, promo photo that they gave. But I'll say this. Yeah, these look great. These 10 that are sitting there on this screen. But all I know is that I have an InArt Joker with some shitty ass hair that is rooted. And I've still not gotten around to the fact that I'm having to adjust my hair and tease the hair of my $1,000 figure. Yeah, you're the king, man. Keep going at it. Keep showing us these dark on black things to where you can't really tell in real lighting what it really is. You're like, well, you don't understand. This is so cinematic. This is a great way to display it. And, you know, I love the ambience that they're going for here. This is high-end, premium stuff. Yeah, well, if you go to a diamond store, they have a lot of light on it because they have nothing to hide. I feel like there's a lot to hide.
A lot of light.
No, for real, you go to a diamond store and it's just lights everywhere because they have nothing to hide. They're trying to show you. I mean, that's a little bit soft compared to the actual promo piece. You're denying that if you
sir, no.
I am not on the hater train.
You're on the hater train right now.
No, I'm not. And maybe I'm just still salty about the whole predicament as well as my hair not being great. But I want to see why they keep doing this in the dark.
Your hair is great, Kiko. You have frosted tips, bro.
I'm not talking about mine. I'm talking about my InArt Joker. I'm not happy about the hair. So These 10, I hope they turn out for the 10 people that get them first, because when you're like 3,000th on the list or 20,000th on the list like me, it may not be holding up as much. So that's my thoughts. They're not the king of 1/6 by any means.
Interesting. Dean. Bro, I know collecting weekly, especially Zach, y'all have been very invested in this Gandalf, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about these production updates? Do you like the InArts doing this? Do you think they're going to become the king at some point?
No, to be the king, and I see this all the time with electric car manufacturers that are like, we're gonna be better than Tesla, and then they show their car and it's like $150,000. It's like, yeah, okay, like
you can get your Tesla for 30,000 today.
Exactly. Like if you want to be
Really?
the best at something, you got to beat them in every category. It's like, yeah, if I'm paying $1,000 for a figure, it's gonna be fucking nice. It better be nice. But Hot Toys is selling it for a third of that. So, like, you're not winning any market share by charging $1,000 to be the king. You know what I mean? I haven't ordered a single InArt figure yet. I don't think they're worth the money. I think they're very beautiful. Now, when they do a character that I absolutely love, sure.
I'm right there with you, Dane.
They haven't. I like Gandalf just as much as the next guy, but I'm not for 500 plus.
Or a miniature Harry Potter for 600. That is absurd to me.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, if you want to be the king, you got to beat whoever in every category, and they're just not so far. The Gandalf is looking good, no doubt about that. Zach says his eyes are a little too sunken back. I don't know how accurate that is, but Zach knows his Gandalf.
He just hit that blunt, bro.
Yeah. Also, if you hit or go back to the photo with all the bodies that are lining on the table.
That sounds very dark.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's it was like there we go.
Yeah. If you see where the ankle pegs are, the feet are going to come down even further than that. That cloak is not long enough. You can barely see Gandalf's feet, his shoes. I think maybe his toes poke out of the robe. And that was the whole reason.
Boot attaches. Let's say I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. Depending on how the boot or whatever attaches, it may be very deep. But I don't think his boot is that thick, though.
Yeah. And that was the whole reason why they didn't want to do the design on the pants, which we showed them. Like, hey, he's got a print on his pant. They're like, well, you never see that, so we're not really gonna. It's like I could see his pants right here. This cloak doesn't go down far enough. That's all. I mean, you're paying for this screen accurate detail, and like, to me, it's not looking like it's gonna be it. But they're laying down. Who knows? Maybe with the right futzing, and you could pull it down further. I don't know. But what I'm looking at right now, it's a little concerning.
As if 1,000 pre-orders cried out in terror. Canceled.
They were like, his cloak's not long. So I think, Dean, it would have to be pretty egregious for most people to care or notice. Like, I think Zach would know, and Zach would care because he's the Gandalf aficionado. But I think for the most of us who are like, yeah, we really like Gandalf, I love Gandalf, but like if his robe is like obscenely short, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, this looks really fucking awkward. But if it's just like, if it's like slightly too short, I'm just kind of like, eh. Like, there are things, with Kylo Ren's costume on the Hot Toys that I notice here or there that I'm like, okay, well, it's not exactly, 1-to-1, whatever, because I have the costume. But, but it's, I still look at the figure and I'm like, yeah.
That's also a $300 figure.
Right. And this is what, $550. So, well, it was probably like $230 or $240 at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and the ones down here look okay, but once you get that belt in and tighten up that suit and, that belt pulls up, it's going to have a high waters on. It's like, where's the flood, Gandalf?
Dude, high waters are in, bro. Have you guys noticed that though? And like everything has changed around. Like, remember, I know you guys probably remember, and I'm wearing them now actually. So like shorts used to be longer and that was cooler. And now shorts shorter are cooler. And same with pants.
Sure, you got to show those quads, man.
Yeah, you got to show them quads off at the gym, bro. So it's,
Joker J asks who's doing it better. I'm not, I objectively, this looks good, but to deny that it's flawless, no, it's got issues. The beard also not long enough. His beard goes down almost to his belly button. This is going to be like barely like mid chest. Well, I guess it's not quite down to his belly button, but it's longer than this.
Yeah, I gotta look it up.
But the sculpt is fantastic. I think it is. Zach says it's not. I don't know. He's still excited to get it.
Oh, he is getting it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking he wasn't going to get it, but
no, he I think he day one ordered it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Or
he's not getting Aragorn though, is he?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he is. Yeah.
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 But yeah,
this is
like a
Joker, and we saw how that worked for me.
For a 6 scale figure, it's
That's
like an 8 out of 10. But for a $500-$600 figure, I don't know if it's an 8 out of 10.
Interesting. See, I come at this a little bit differently than you guys. I'm thinking this thing is, I mean, look, maybe the small details aside with the beard being slightly too short or the robe being slightly too short or whatever, like, I don't think when it's on your shelf, 95% of people are ever going to notice that. Like, I think to me, I'm looking at the quality of the head sculpt, but I get what you're saying, Dean, as far as what you're paying, you do want ultimate accuracy. So you do have a very valid point there.
But that was their whole thing.
Right.
It's not that was not me projecting that onto InArt. That was their whole, like, we are going to make the absolute most accurate shit on the market.
But I think it is. I mean, I think this is the most accurate on the market, I would say. I mean, as far as like, as good, like, even though it's not perfect, it is the most perfect. I mean, I'd say, compared to Asmus. I mean, Asmus
had the print on the pants. They didn't need the community telling them what staff to include and what not to include.
Right. Yeah. And to me,
the sculpt, the
sculpt, I think we're all pretty much on board. I mean, I know Kiko's like,
day, yeah.
Well, what would you guys rate this head sculpt out of 10?
I honestly think it's a 10 out of 10.
I mean, I think it is too. I think it's pretty close, 9.5. I mean, it's pretty damn good. And so I think that it's kind of like that with J&D too. I mean, I don't buy J&Ds, but it's one of those where you're buying it mostly for the head sculpt. I think that at the end of the day, that's what and I think with InArt, that's the tailoring too. It does matter, but I think the head sculpt.
Well, like I said, and everybody in the chat is saying like, what the bodies are laid down. I said that. I was like,
right.
Maybe when you stand them up, they have the shoes
Dean
on.
Knows his truth.
You do some futzing. Maybe it'll come out better than what it looks like. That is totally a possibility.
Right. Well, Dean, that's also a reason. Like, we also have to say with Hot Toys, that's the primary reason we buy Hot Toys is the head sculpts. I mean, more often than not. I mean, it depends on the figure. Maybe it's Iron Man and you just want the helmeted look or whatever. But more often than not, we get them because of the head sculpts. But yeah. So, but look, we're going to see, guys. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm really happy with how this has turned out personally. As far as if it comes out like this to your door, I think it will. Kiko has had the one, I think, rare issue with his Joker hair. My Joker hair was completely fine. I don't know if Kiko just got unlucky. But they've been pretty good.
There was other people with other QC.
Sure,
issues,
the magnets for sure.
Magnets. God, what was it? Some people were getting 2 of the same head sculpt.
Oh, did they? Wow.
Yeah, there was a couple issues with the Joker, and I brought it. I guess it was on our show that I was like, I feel like they were so pressured to get the Joker out the door that like Kiko said, like when you're the 30,000th person in line, it's like, just get this shit out the door.
Right. Exactly.
People are pissed off that they're waiting so long. Hopefully with this, they don't feel so pressured. So, that remains to be seen.
Right. Yeah. And we'll have to see, because I mean, I'm seeing a comment here. Yoda Pegada said, I'm looking at the Balrog fight, the beard length is perfect. So I don't know. I was looking at photos while you guys were talking. I don't know. Maybe it's slightly too short. Yeah, it's a little, but not enough where I feel like I would really care that much. But with Zach, I get it. You know, super fan. So I'm a super fan of Lord of the Rings. I think it's the best trilogy ever made. But you know, I just with this Gandalf, to me, man, I'm loving how it looks
Best
personally.
trilogy ever made.
I think so, bro.
That's a bold topic.
That could be its own
I
topic. but
might be inclined to agree with you. Actually,
See, Kiko wouldn't, but I think a lot of people would. So Dark Knight is up there. Dark Knight is up there. Star Wars, you know.
Oh.
The sequel trilogy, I mean. No, I'm just kidding.
I will leave the show right now.
Did you barf at Star Wars being a good trilogy, or were you talking about the Dark Knight?
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Either way, I mean, I like the original Star Wars trilogy. I wouldn't put it in the best trilogies of all time personally.
The original X-Men trilogy, the Fox X-Men trilogy, X2, Last Stand, those are some of the best films of all time.
Wasn't Star Wars the first trilogy of all time?
I don't know, maybe.
No.
That's a good historical question, but yeah, I don't know. Either way, guys, let us know in the chat what you think about you know, this Gandalf here, what you think about InArt. I mean, I love Kiko's meme though. I gotta say that meme is top shelf. It is amazing. And
that's what I provide to the channel here, guys.
I don't know if it's so much InArt that's like this or the fanboys.
This is the 1/6 community. This is the 1/6 InArt community.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. That's fair. Well, that's how it is with everything. I mean, you remember Xbox and PlayStation back in the day? Some people still fight over that. So, I mean, you know, it's, yeah.
Yeah, those people still don't own a PC.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the PC master race?
Yeah, he is. Dean is the PC master race, bro.
Let me just say, I game on my consoles. I love my consoles.
Sure.
But to deny that PCs are, you know, arguably better.
But I'm also we're going to get off track completely here, I'm not going to spend $3,000-$4,000 to put together a PC when I could go and buy a PS5 that has a game that works on day one, Jedi Survivor, unlike y'all with your PC.
That's true.
You're not wrong.
And with The Last of Us too, it was all fucked on the PC, but PlayStation, man,
everything's always fucked on the PC, bro.
They
just expect the modding community to fix everything.
Yeah, the modding community does fix everything.
Fix it.
I mean, the Hogwarts mods were pretty hilarious. I will say that from what I saw from Hogwarts Legacy.
They're pretty fucking wild. I love the mods though with like a Jedi Fallen Order 2, the original one, where people were putting Revan and Darth Maul in there and shit. It was pretty cool. Sick. It was pretty cool. So anyway, guys, I want to address something else here. We got a release actually from Hot Toys, the current king of 1/6. Hot Toys Bespin Luke. So I want to ask the question, is Mando Luke chopped liver? Because apparently, right, look, Bespin Luke is great. I love Bespin Luke. I love Empire Strikes Back. I think it's, you know, most people consider it the best Star Wars film ever made. I like Force Awakens the best, right? But I would say that Dean's face. I would say that Empire is second best, right? I like Force Awakens as number one, but some people, you know, obviously Kiko's upset too. But basically, what I would say, Empire would be number two, right? Bespin Luke is a super iconic outfit and figure. I don't love the outfit necessarily, but I like the iconic nature of it. That said, I want to bring up some photos here that Hot Toys posted on Facebook, if I can find them, because they had a bunch of different things they wanted to share. Actually, here's what I'll do. I'll just bring up the what's it called? The sideshow version, because they did an unboxing, right? So they did their first look unboxing and they showed this Bespin Luke Skywalker, and a lot of people are really excited about it. However, I've asked the question a couple times now, is Mando Luke better than Bespin Luke, right? Because look, a lot of collectors, they're probably going to get both. A lot of collectors are not going to be able or not going to want to get both. So that's the question, I think. Now you have two very good options on the market right now that you can pretty much go by, right? So is Mando Luke chopped liver because this Bespin Luke has come out? Kiko, I want to start with you on this one. Let's take a look at the Bespin Luke here. What do you think? I mean, now that you have Mando Luke, are you going to pick up this Bespin Luke as well? And which one do you think is better?
I'm going to honor Justin and just cross my arms again, you know, because apparently I do this right before I get ready to say something controversial.
Yep.
This is not what I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah, mainly because I still believe the DX07 to be one of the best DX releases they've ever done. Now, I will concede that the normal head sculpt on the first original DX is pretty bad. I mean, that was, I think, 10, 12 years ago when that one first released, but what you got with that one was a secondary body. You get the, I mean, that's the original Or that's the new one.
This is a new
isn't
one.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a new one.
I thought you were getting ready to show the 07, but with the 07, you get 2 specific bodies. You get the battle damage version, which I think is fantastic. Even that sculpt with the messed up part of his eye and all that looks fantastic. I think that one is great. Love that one. You get the weather vane. You get all kinds of things. The deluxe of this is not up to what I think they should be doing. It is a recycled head sculpt. It is the Mando Luke one. But my biggest contention, why is the outfit so damn clean and pressed? That is my issue. And the original one, in my opinion, and maybe just because mine's older, looks a little bit weathered. It fits him a little bit looser. This is almost like very, very snug. And I just don't like the overall. He looks too clean, and he's got a Dagobah base for one. And I don't think that this moment is going to translate properly to, I mean, that's not the best head sculpt. You know that. But
It's 10 years old, but yeah.
I know,
That's
but
also not the DX07 outfit. That's the Hasbro one.
Is it?
Yeah, you get the little snaps on it.
Well, then Sean Long fucking lied to us all.
Oh, maybe it does have. No, I guess it does have snaps. Okay,
but I do love that. I mean, that's what I love, that face. I think it looks great. For what you get, I think that is the better one overall. I like that one better. If you swap the head out, which I did, that's what I did. I'm excited for people that are getting it. This is one of the first DX ones I did not pre-order or reach out to anybody to say I need this one right now, because I got a perfectly good 2 DX07s, and the wet hair, or the moppy hair, I guess, the sweat hair, doesn't look great either. That's just my opinion. I do not think this will move Mando Luke off the throne of best Mando or best Luke to have. I mean, why does he look so puffy? That's my thing.
Mando Luke is the best Luke to have.
I think it is, Dean.
Yeah, I do.
I think it is.
From the contents to the sculpt to the moment. But this one is just a half-assed version of the DX07, in my opinion.
See, Kiko, so here's what I would say. I think this looks better than the DX07. However, you do put on a valid point here. They clearly got a fat suit going on underneath there, because he looks pretty like he's been working out a little.
That boy's been squatting, and I know Mark Hamill don't got legs like that.
Yeah, he's got them quads. So yeah, this is something for sure. I mean, look, this is a great figure. This is not taking anything away from the figure, but I will say Mando Luke, Dean, has a presence to him, bro. Because look, as iconic as this outfit is, this was not Jedi Master Luke here, right? This was Luke still figuring things out, Luke, right? So I think this outfit is a little boring. Like, that's what I'm going to say. Yes, it's super iconic. This is a lot of people's favorite Star Wars film ever. But Mando Luke, that's pretty much Return of the Jedi Luke. And at the same time, that Mando scene is super iconic. Not quite as iconic as this. I get that. But the outfit is more exciting. I don't know.
But can I say also something? This is not the iconic moment. This is before he even gets to...
Before he gets his hand cut off.
Yeah, before he even... This is not the iconic moment. You want the ripped up, bloodied version where the man is completely beaten when he finds out his father is the worst person on the planet. This is just the guy that walked in there and said, I'm a cocky son of a bitch. I'm ready to take on this Sith Lord. That's what this is. Right. So I don't feel like that's the definitive moment.
Well, do you think they'll give us a battle damage version at some point?
I think they will. I think it's a mistake that they didn't just kind of do a 2.0 of the DX07, because having them both is a really cool display option, honestly.
Right. Okay. Well, Dean, jump in on this one, bro. What do you think? Because you don't seem to agree Mando Luke is the best, bro.
No. I think if you want that look, just get the Return of the Jedi Luke. The hair sculpt is better. The Mando Luke has that like weird little bowl cut going on. It's kind of goofy looking.
CGI bowl cut.
Yeah. This one, I'm kind of just gonna agree with Kiko on this. I don't like the sweaty hair. It's very soft. It's kind of half-assed.
This looks like the sculpted InArt Harry Potter hair.
I think the base sculpt is fine, but the outfit, again, also too clean. He's too puffy. I'm assuming there's a fat suit under there you could get rid of, and the suit will fit just perfectly. Out of the bar. I mean, it's fine. It's kind of, for people that have the DX07, this kind of preserves that. in a way where you have both looks. You have the weather vane, the more iconic moment, the accessories to go with that. And then the people that don't want to spend the stupid amounts of money that the DX07 was going for have a chance of picking one up, and it's a solid figure. I think it's a cool release. I think it could have been better. I think it could have been executed a little bit better, but I mean, it's yeah. I might just look at picking up the head sculpt for my DX07.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'm sure. I don't know if anyone's tried it yet, but I'm sure it would still peg on unless the body's changed or something.
Yeah, I think other than the battle damage head sculpt is better on the DX07, but I think the base head sculpt on this with the hair is better than the DX07.
Right. I'm with you guys on most of it. Yeah, because like the one with like the sort of windswept hair or whatever with the sweaty look, that one is not. I'm with you guys. It does look a little odd, but this one looks great. I feel this hair piece. I really
solid.
Yeah,
this looks good.
Yep, exactly. It looks good, and you can, if you want, swap this on the Mando Luke. Like if you did want to swap the hair pieces, you could put one of them on Mando Luke and then swap them around, which is really nice because they keep using that Mando Luke head sculpt. But I will say that Mando Luke head sculpt that is used here, obviously, like Kiko mentioned, it is really good. It is really good. I mean, it's not a perfect Mark Hamill,
yeah,
but
I think it's
the best one yet.
I think it's just the hair that throws me off. That it's like,
yeah, because I put.
I'd rather just have
and swapped all the different hairs on them, and they look really good when you have all the different ones. You put the Snowspeeder one, the Return of the Jedi one. He looks really good.
Right. Because
this is.
Oh yeah,
like I think that is the definitive Luke Skywalker when it comes to Bespin. When he's terrified, his father. Look at like the broken, the blood, and all that stuff. That's what I want to see, and I feel like that fits a little bit better with Bespin Luke. So that's once again my opinion of one, for what it's worth.
I think we do need that version again, the battle damage version, and I think it will come eventually. I think there will be a time where Hot Toys is like, yeah, and they just made it 2 figures, like they pretty much did with Anakin, Light Side and Dark Side. They were like, we're going to give you 2 and charge you twice. So that's pretty much what they did instead of giving you another 2-pack like that. So it's unfortunate, but it's still a great figure. Again, I think people are still really excited about it. I just think the outfit to me is it doesn't quite grab me. You know what I mean? Like when I see this on a shelf, I'll be like, yeah, it's Luke Skywalker. And I think the head sculpt is really good, but that Mando Luke, that thing just has a presence, bro. The all black and the green lightsaber
black and Jedi robes, because it's different than the Return of the Jedi look. I love the black Jedi robes.
So this figure comes with 2 bases or
2
one?
Bases. Yeah, 2.
Okay.
You get the Dagobah base and you get the Cloud City base. Yeah.
Yeah, because
somebody you get the deluxe is the only one that comes with the
okay. Because somebody in the comments is like, why didn't it come with the backpack? Honestly, if they had thrown a Power Pose Yoda in the backpack with this figure and just called it the Dagobah Luke, I think that would have been a much better idea than branding it the Bespin Luke, because we're just comparing it to the DX07.
Right.
Which it falls very short of in most instances. Because when he first shows up to Dagobah, he is pretty clean, right? He just got there. I mean, he jumps on that dirty swamp water immediately. But, when he's setting up camp, he changes into this outfit from his, snow speeder outfit. And it looks like that. So it's like, why didn't they just market this as the Dagobah Luke if it's gonna come with the Dagobah base anyway?
Right.
That's weird.
That makes sense. That's a good point, Dean. Why did they not include the Power Pose Yoda in a backpack or something? I think that would have made this one really go over the top. It is a DX after all, right? So
yeah,
I even said in my review, I reviewed the Mando Luke, and I was like, it doesn't really come with that much. Like, it's the Dark Trooper accessory is, that is really, really nice. That's S tier, as the kids say. But I will say that the other accessories, there's really not that much to sink your teeth into there.
Do we know if you can take the top off, or is it a bodysuit? Because the DX07, you can take the top off and have the undershirt and just like his wife beater if you want to go to training.
That would be very disappointing if you couldn't. But I have not seen photos of it.
Because like this, you can take the top off. There's 2 separate pieces.
Right. And this still looks good like this. If you give him the lightsaber and stuff, it's still a good figure, but it's just that sort of tan outfit doesn't quite do it for me personally. But
the boots are also kind of weird.
Yeah. And again, it's accurate, but it's just a very old school design, So
I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's still cool. I like it, but I think for me, I'm going to stick with one Luke. I'm going to stick with Mando. So I'm interested to see what people say, but yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Bespin Luke, Mander Luke is out there too. So like I said, you do have options, which is really, really great. And yeah, that's never hurt anyone.
I picked up the Return of the Jedi Luke, like a couple months ago for like $200.
Wow. Dean, I will say I didn't have Return of the Jedi. I had the Endor Luke, which is basically Return of the Jedi. It was pretty much the same figure, but I like the Mando Luke a lot better. I think the new head sculpt is an improvement. Like I don't know if Kiko would agree because I think he's pretty sure.
Well, you're wrong, but it's fine.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Get Mando Luke, Dean. Get Mando Luke in hand and tell me.
I refuse to have any Disney Luke in my collection.
Well, I guess it's technically Disney, but it's fine, dude. You would like it's pre-sequel time, so it's fine. It's Mandalorian.
It's before he became broken.
Yeah, exactly, bro. It's pre-broken, Luke.
They tried to do the character justice. I'll give them that, but
yeah,
it's just not gonna beat OT for me.
That's
talent without training is nothing. Luke Skywalker, Mando season 2.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Someone should have told Rey.
Yeah. Well, she turned out pretty good. She's a Skywalker now. So anyway, SoSo Toys Homelander. Guys, let's talk about this figure because I don't know if I'm the only one that had any expectations on it on this panel. However, I did have this on pre-order. I was looking forward to it. I created my little document sort of organizing my display before my mod spaces eventually arrive. Hopefully the end of this month. We will see. Only time will tell. That said, may the gods be good. I will say this Homelander, SoSo Toys, John Lander figure, it is officially about to release. SoSo posted this photo and another. I posted a video where I kind of went in on this figure, and look, I got to be honest, I really don't like this. I think it's not good. I think this is a really underwhelming figure for how long this took to get made. Multiple years for a third-party figure is a very long time. But that's why I kind of want to explore this figure and the question, do delays create unrealistic expectations? The longer you delay something, are we just assuming that it's because you're getting it right? You're refining it, right? But maybe it's not always the case. Maybe they're just like fucking behind and they're doing other stuff and they're focused on other figures or whatever. But it's like, at the end of the day, I mean, look, this is a figure that really should have been better than what it is. But I want to ask the question, Kiko. Do delays create unrealistic expectations? What do you think here? I mean, do we have unrealistic hopes and dreams here for figures that get delayed for a while?
This is an honest question that I want the actual answer to. I don't know this.
Yeah.
What delayed figure has actually turned out better than expected? That's an honest question. Because
I thought Wanda was going to come out shitty, but she didn't.
Well, she didn't come out better than expected. She just came out as expected.
Yeah.
We were all hoping seamless body, updated head sculpt, things like that. I was confident she was going to be fine, but I'm wondering about all these delays. Even going back to Gamora, which was I still think she is next to Hulkbuster, the longest delayed figure of all time was Gamora, with over 2 years of delay. And she turned out as expected. Nothing crazy that was revolutionary. She still had the rooted hair, mid sculpt, whatever, fine. But what figure that's been delayed has ever turned out better? And yeah, I do think we have unrealistic expectations because I don't know where this idea that, they're just taking time to perfect it. Unless they come out and say license pending or whatever, or we're making updates, you should assume that that's not going to happen. I don't know where this, and maybe it started with the Mark 85. I don't know where this idea in 6-scale collecting is that, here's our release or here's our reveal. The release is going to get it right. Where did that come from? And where did this idea that they're going to refine it and get it right? I know that people made a big deal about the Alfred Molina Doc Ock, and they said, well, that's not going to be, pending licensure approval and things like that. So I would like to know which thing that's ever been released that was delayed turned out better than expected, because you have to look at this. So this is SooSoo Toys. You have to look to see what is all out there on their plate. We saw that they obviously put more emphasis on the bigger sellers, the stuff from Marvel, obviously, the Kingpin and such like that. Those turned out good. There's a brand new Kingpin, exclusive, got me thinking, coming out that looks incredible. I don't think, look at Homelander as John Lander. I don't think they look at John Lander as a real big mover and shaker in the collecting community. Yeah, The Boys is cool, but it's kind of a niche audience. I don't think a lot of people have posters up of The Boys. People like it because it's edgy and because it's different, and it kind of makes fun of the superhero genre, but done right. It's a great show, but it's not going to move product like everyone thinks it is. So I pose that to the audience. I pose that to Dean. I pose that to you. What figure has ever been delayed that turned out better than expected?
Super Mad Toys Hunter K.
Who?
Yeah. Who?
Oh
my god.
K from Blade Runner, the third party company, Super Mad Toys. It got delayed for like a year. And every so often they would post updates like, hey, we're working on this. Hey, we got this back from the factory and it's not right, so we're going back to the drawing board. It was like one of the first figures that we talked about on our channel, and it wasn't until like episode 100 something that it actually got released. It was like a long time. That figure came out so fucking good, it's not even funny.
What about like Hot Toys though? I'm trying to think about that.
A mainstream figure.
Mainstream.
Okay, well that's not what you said. You said a figure.
Dean comes up with this fucking like out there one. That's a good choice though. But like, so Loki probably came out worse to most people, right? Like Pennywise came out as expected. So I'm trying to think of the Gamora came out as expected.
I don't think anyone. I think someone in the comments mentioned Cyborg. That was delayed even for announcement. I don't think that counts. You know, from the
and also that came out as expected.
Yeah, as expected.
Yeah.
I mean, not.
I mean, it looks like the prototype. Yeah. So like you're trying. Maybe what you're saying is like better than the proto. Like better than the proto. Yeah,
I mean, I know Professor Hulk. They told us that the sculpt was going to be better upon release. We got like, hey, here's a new head sculpt. Then boom, the next day they released it. But that wasn't delayed. That was just hey, we did this. The Mark 85, I think, started a lot of these conversations. But
yeah,
I don't know where this is all coming from. Okay. Oh, that's cool.
That's a really good figure, bro.
Design on the back.
Who doesn't want a little Ryan Gosling?
Shoes.
You know what's pretty crazy, Dean? I didn't really like that film that much.
What?
Dude. I'm telling you, bro. Even your dog is upset at me, dude.
Dean
it's not
like The Dark Knight. So
it's not as good as Force Awakens. Okay, so
I'm just gonna leave. It's been fun, guys. We'll see
dude,
you later.
I loved Denis Villeneuve, but I couldn't get into that film as much. I wasn't even really excited for it, but
did you like the first movie? That's probably
not really. Yeah, because I watched it like the day before, and I was like, I want to prepare. I didn't really like it that much either, so I probably should.
God, Blade Runner is like in my top like 3 films of all time.
Yeah, a lot of people. Dude, you know what's also crazy? I'm gonna everyone's gonna unsubscribe. You know what I didn't like that much that Justin got me to watch? I didn't really like Rocky 1 that much. Like I thought it was just it was okay. Yeah, the original Rocky. Like I was just like,
I think the sequels, I think Rocky 2 and 3 are considered
better.
better.
Maybe they're better. Because look, I've come into it watching Creed first. I've seen clips of Rocky, but I'd never really watched the whole thing. And I watched all the Creed films and I really liked the Creed films, but I watched Rocky and I was like, it's good, but I was like, I'll never watch it again. I mean, it just wasn't for me, but anyway, Dean, I've pissed off everyone in the chat, especially Nick.
Dare you,
Dean. So, dude, what about this? What do you think about delays, bro? Are we unrealistic in our expectations here with this SoSo Homelander and other figures?
A little bit. I think you said it where you're like, if they're not actively, or maybe Kiko said it, if they're not actively updating you, there's really no reason to assume they're working on it. You know, delays happen for any number of reasons, right? They didn't get enough fucking bodies, or they ran out of the material for whatever. Or it's not necessarily because they're tweaking it and making improvements. So
why are these always taken in someone's like basement? Why are they always like a kitchen shot?
I don't know, bro.
That's you're not.
What cell phone cameras do they have over there, bro? Because this doesn't look like an iPhone shot to me.
I'm actually really shocked that you don't like this.
Galaxy.
You like it, Dean?
I don't think it's terrible. Because we did the premium toys on our channel the other day.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. Probably a little better than this, but like marginally. I think the body is a little small on this one, but I don't hate the head sculpts.
It's better than Star Ace, so let's start there.
I mean, it's better than Star Ace.
1000%.
But that's not saying much. I mean,
that's really not saying
much. This is
much.
like, is it probably the best Homelander on the market? I would say probably. A lot of people still say the premium toys.
Premium toy is really nice.
Yeah, and it has
I
like
just
5
don't
head
like the
sculpts.
material of the outfit.
Right. And dude, the outfit on this one is great. I will say the outfit, the tailoring, the cape looks a little short, but I can't really tell from the photo. So I don't know, but The head sculpt, Dean, I'm surprised you like the head sculpt. I mean, a lot of people did though, because I saw a lot of people commenting like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah," and stuff. I was surprised.
I think the smiling sculpt is pretty dead on. The more angry stoic one, not so much. But he's just not muscular enough. Because Homelander is fucking jacked.
He's in a muscle suit.
He can't even. Yeah, of course. It's like he can't even turn around and wipe his.
Gotta suspend disbelief, man.
Yeah, it's supposed to be larger than life, you know.
Yeah, right.
So, but yeah, I honestly don't hate this. I hate the Starriest one. This one is passable.
Yeah. But I guess I just want more out of a Homelander because I love the boys. I really love the boys. And I guess it just hurts my heart because I know John came on one stream at one point and he said, yeah, we tried to get the boys, but Star Ace already has it, so we couldn't get it. And I was like, that fucking sucks. I was like, that's like
really
that's like the biggest travesty right there. Could you imagine InArt Homelander? Like, dude, that would just be, yeah.
Dude, give InArt
38.
It would be 2038, but yeah, I mean, it's
give InArt any license that Star Ace has at this point, please.
Right.
I would like feel bad.
I don't mean to shit on Star Ace. Like they try and they do sometimes a good job, but some of the figures they've put out have just been not up to par. So yeah.
I just want someone to do a proper Beatrix Kiddo.
I don't know who that is. Oh, Kill Bill. Okay. Which one? I've seen all the Kill Bills, but I don't remember the character.
The Uma Thurman character.
Yeah, Uma Thurman.
Oh, yeah, that didn't Star Ace do her?
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's not. Yeah, but it's, you know, I had Star Ace horse at one point. I really liked it. They could do horses. They do horses well, but I have a third-party horse that's actually better than the Star Ace horse. So I guess that goes to show you. So yeah. Anyway, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Interesting seeing the poll results. 83% are saying this Homelander is not good. So I don't know. Maybe we're in the minority. You know, I saw people, like I said, on Facebook who agreed with you, Dean, who said they really liked it. So
how much is it?
I paid $190, but I canceled it. $190. Yeah. $190 shipped from TNS. Yeah. So that's not bad. But no, $190 shipped is pretty good nowadays. But guys, we got a super chat earlier, and I'm so sorry that I missed it. I have to scroll all the way back up just because Melon doesn't let me save them. Howard Chan, so sorry, bro, that I missed your super chat. My apologies. Why the fuck is Kiko still here? King of the Kingdom, dude.
I addressed that earlier on in the beginning of this panel. So I do have to acknowledge the king of the kingdom. Howard, you are king of the kingdom. As you can see, Keco collected. So I quit. I did what I was told. So if anyone needs to see what happened, rewind.
Maybe I'll throw my hat in the ring. Are you a tag team champ and the heavyweight champ?
So you're going to be head of the table or head of the table?
I'd like to see if I could take on Howard Chan.
I don't think anyone's beating Howard, bro. Not in the fucking neon tech armor.
What we need to think about is how to get me reinstated. If anyone wants to try to fight for my contract.
You know what? If I get beat by Howard Chan, I'm in some pretty good company. So,
I mean, I had him, but the ref was knocked down. And JC was out there disturbing the peace as well. So I pinned him, I think, 3 times, but it just wasn't, the cards didn't fall as I wanted it to.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of Kiko's like the Bengals and the Chiefs, bro. Just like that.
Oh, okay.
Just like I know Kiko was on vacation when that happened. I knew I thought of it when it happened. I was like, Kiko's gonna be so fucking mad. I was like, he's gonna be so pissed.
If I wasn't in Cancun, heavily alcoholed, that would have been a lot worse, I think.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. And I want to answer something real quick, just because we got a message, by the way, guys. Sorry, we have so many good messages. Josh, love Josh. He said, how do you feel about that RDJ bust that everyone is going crazy over? Dude, I don't know if did you guys see that? Did you guys see it popped up on Facebook? So
Unreal,
it's super interesting.
Bro.
And so I watched the Flankster video on it. He was talking about it. And he was like, I just want people to be a little cautious about this because it seems a little sus, right? A little sus. I don't really know much about Hannah Lee. I don't know. I've heard apparently it's a dude and it's not even a woman. So I don't know, but I don't know if this bust is legitimate or not. I would just tell people to be cautious. I don't know anything about Hannah Lee. I would just say, look, if you're going to spend that much money, just be very careful. If it's not a reputable dealer, like someone you're buying from, like Spec or Sideshow or Common Concepts, whatever, right? If you're paying that direct seller, I would just personally use a lot of caution if I'm dropping that type of cheese on something like that. So it'll probably be great, I'm sure, but that would make me really nervous. If that were a Loki bust and that looked that good, or a Loki statue, I would still not do it, because I'm just not. I like to be safer with that type of money. PayPal, I get it, but if something goes past the 6-month time that you paid for it, you're shit out of luck. So, which is probably what's going to happen. So,
yeah, wait till there's some in hand.
Right. So, yeah. Anyway, so we got another super chat. Mike, thanks so much. Is it Mike Literus, like the clitoris? I don't know if that's like you can see in front of it.
I think he's friends with alcoholic. Alcoholic.
Oh shit, dude. All right, hold on. Let me give you a flash. Took me
or Seymour Butts.
Oh, Seymour Butts. I like that one too, dude. Thanks, bro. Yeah, that's pretty good. Mike, thank you so much, bro. He said WillFoxification is the Jerry Springer show of pop culture. Of 1-6, dude. Happy to take the Jerry. Dude, what was it? Mari was, you are not the father, dude. That's some of the best clips on the internet. Those guys dancing and shit. Like,
dude, Jerry Springer just recently passed away. R.I.P.
I know. R.I.P. Jerry, dude. Yeah. But
the former mayor of Cincinnati.
Pretty wild. But
why do you know that?
He's from Cincinnati.
Yeah, because
Harambe, Joe Burrow, and Jerry Springer are the 3 most important people to the city.
Yeah. I feel better about my bad taste knowing there's someone out there who's always worse. Thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate it, bro. Wouldn't be the first time, dude. I remember when I first started streaming, I was streaming with PJ and some other guys. I think Dean, someone like Eddie, and Collecting Weekly and stuff. And we talked about Man of Steel. And I was like, Man of Steel is like, all right, it's not that great. And they fucking attacked me, bro. People went at me hard because I'm not a huge Man of Steel fan. I think it's okay, but yeah, I don't love it.
I don't like it either.
It's kind of like the Batman.
Yeah, so. Anyway, wow, dude, we have another super chat. Thank you so much, Paul R. Guys, I promise I want to address all these super chats. Thank you so much, by the way, Mike. Appreciate it, bro. Dude, always funny, bro. Paul said, wow, 155 people in the chat. Always look forward to these Friday night. And Keco Collects doing the complaining collector voices. Always worth the price of admission. Thanks for the great streams, and Will. Yeah, thank you so much, Paul. Dude, thank you so much for always joining, Paul. Thank you so much for the generosity. Thank you guys for the super chats. Seriously, it does mean a lot. Sorry, I try to get to them as quickly as I can. Sometimes with Melons, it's not quite as easy as StreamYard, so it's a little bit harder to get to some of the stuff. So anyway, that said, guys, we got to talk about something real quick, right? There's a Batman Armory, apparently. And I want to ask the question, is there any chance that this thing gets made? Because they tease this. And it's funny because, and Kiko and I pointed this out. So I've been tracking all of the Hot Toys actual announcements so far this year, right? Every single thing this year that's been DC has been Batman. Like every single one. The only Bane still counts as Batman because he's a Batman villain. Yeah, well, that too. But I mean, for DC specifically, Dean, everything has been Batman. Every single one.
Batman sells.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's my question. Is there any chance this gets made? Because Batman clearly does sell pretty well. Kiko, is there any chance that this becomes like an Armory type deal that people are going to have to invest in? Because, I mean, Hot Toys fucking loves Batman.
They sure do love Batman. And unless this is like a 6-inch version, kind of like the old Hall of Armor that they did, not the full, big pieces, because there are already Iron Man suits out there you could fill it in. But they did a kind of a 6-inch, I guess 1/12 version of the Hall of Armor. I think they did one for the Spider-Man Hall of Armor as well. That's the only way I see this happening. Because, Will, you mentioned a couple streams ago, look how many I keep saying reveals and releases, but reveals that have been announcements, we'll call them that. And think about the idea of how many people buy how many Hot Toys a year.
Right.
There are 7 Batman people in this photo. Do you really think they're going to release 7 Batmans from a movie called The Flash that, depending on how it's received, could go very, very poorly depending on how it's received? I think this is 100% just like the Vulture post. I think this is just 100% just like the Batman Batmobile. I think this is a hype piece. This is no different than Shazam. I think this is a hype piece. With the modern technologies we have, I'm not even 100% sure that this is not AI that's created this.
Just ChatGPT made this?
Yeah, potentially they're like, oh, give me Batman Armory, but a 6 scale in Hot Toys with the bases. Boom, there it is. Post that, guys. That's what they did. At very most, if we want to get crazy and smoke something extremely illegal, just to get that crazy type of thoughts going, maybe they release these separately and the faceplates are interchangeable, because I don't think these are posable. They're probably power poses, but I think the most logical explanation is that this is a 1/12 size thing. And it just goes back to the idea is that how many people put this up for the poll? How many people in this poll or in this chat is going to get all 7 of these? I don't think anybody actually is going to. I love Batman, and I have several of them. No one is buying all these because, for one, we don't know what this actually is and what it is. You know, I don't think so. I think it's a hype piece. I'm just going to keep going on with that.
Yeah. Well, I will say, Howard and JC, don't smoke too much of that crazy shit that Kiko's talking about and post all the Batman stuff. Dude, you guys ever hear that story, by the way, before I get to you, Dean? There was one time, I think I heard some guy, I think he like took he took like bath salts or something and like ate his roommate. Do you remember that?
There's that guy in Florida that did that.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
That guy on the street.
Yeah, he became like a zombie or something.
He thought he was a wolf. He
thought he was a wolf?
He actually suffered from lycanthropy or whatever. And
dude.
Yeah.
That's some wild shit. Anyway, I didn't even make this so dark, but damn, dude, that's some wild shit. Dean, bro, is there any chance this 7 Batman get made? I put a poll up for you, Kiko, so the people are going to vote in the poll.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they'll make this.
Really? Okay.
I think Hot Toys.
Oh,
no
I think one.
Put it right next to the Mandalorian N1 starship. That's exactly what he's going to say.
Hot Toys needs to make figures. They need to announce figures too. Batman sells. There's not really any other Batman properties.
Is this their DC quota for the rest of the year then?
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We saw it with the Spider-Mans. They made every goddamn suit, and then they started to do it with Miles too. Because they need figures that sell and people buy Batman shit. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, I totally see these as figures coming out. I think it's totally possible. Because there's people, I mean, Will, you just had a super chat.
Yeah.
That said I'd buy every single one. He's not the only one. Batman Collectibles.
Dude, the poll, Dean, is more surprising. 31% say yes, 69 say no.
That's
but still,
astonishing to me.
31 is higher than I thought it would be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if it's not from a Batman movie, it's Keaton Batman. People love Keaton Batman. I'm sure people would have loved to have seen what Keaton would have, his suits would have looked like anyway. So to have this kind of like fantasy come to life where it's like, oh, look at all the suits in the movies, that we didn't get to see. It's like, oh, I could own it. I think these would sell very well.
That's a good point. Well, I mean, we got a super chat. So Batman, the name checks out though. Batman Collectibles. Thank you so much, Batman Collectibles. Appreciate you, bro. Very generous with the super chats tonight, guys. Thank you so much. Means the world. I'd buy every single one of them. I don't think it's happening, but I wanted Batman Armory. So here's the question though, Batman Collectibles, and I want to ask anyone else who's voted yes, right? How many Hot Toys figures are you buying per year? Because most of the numbers that I saw in the poll were about 1 to 7. It was like 67%, right? So if you buy 7 here, that's your whole allotment for the year. So it could be a matter, Kiko, of some people who might be like, hey, and these collectors might buy more than that, but they might be like, hey, I'd buy all 7. But then when the time comes and you're like, well, shit, but I want to get Darth Vader and I want to get, and then it's like, are you actually going to buy all 7? But Dean is right. Batman shit sells, but 7 Batman is a tough ask. I mean, that's, like, I don't even know most collectors having 7 Iron Mans.
I mean, 2 have already been released, the 89 reissue and the modern suit. So there's 5 to go, essentially, over the next however long. So I guess we'll see.
I would be the only thing that makes me think that they won't is they haven't announced any other figures from this movie, right? Just the Batfleck.
No, not even Flash. Yeah.
Might not even be Batfleck. It's both Batman. So
yeah.
It's like if they don't announce Flash and the Superwoman, do I think they're going to go down the rabbit hole with this line? I don't know. Like you said, there's already 2 of them made.
The next one's going to be the Flash suit that's the modified Batman suit.
Oh, it'd be so easy to do. Yeah.
Isn't that some wild shit though? That like everything announced in this film is Batman and nothing Flash, like nothing. Like
Because it's
just,
toxic. You cannot put your brand out there with the guy that's literally like
It's true.
capturing people,
Choking
and committing crimes.
Right.
I mean, if they're afraid of Jonathan Majors, you know, I mean,
Right.
goodness, this dude's like leading a cult and capturing people. I mean, that's not
He
exactly
is.
great.
He is. So I'm sure James Gunn is very happy they're resetting the universe because he's like, I can kick this stupid dude out at this point.
Blue Beetle coming to set out the multiverse.
Yeah, Blue Beetle's coming to change things. So, but
Hell,
it's pretty
bring in
wild.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he'll fix
That's
it
a good
too.
point, Kiko. It probably is why Hot Toys is like, yeah, let's make 7 Batman. Like we're just gonna do that instead of making a Flash. But Supergirl, I mean, I think there'd be some people interested in Supergirl for sure. So Superwoman, Supergirl, I'm not sure. So anyway, but thank you so much, Batman Collectibles, dude. Thank you so much for the super chat, bro. And yeah, dude, I hope it happens for you. We did get a comment from, let's see, OG when Star Wars was just Star Wars. Thank you so much for the super chat. When Star Wars was just Star Wars, all suits will be made before reboot and licensing changes. Yeah, I guess it could be that. Could be that. One of those. It's probably Michael Keaton's last film, I would assume, right? So,
but how are you going to pay 300 plus potentially for a suit that may be on screen for 15 seconds that you don't even know the true history behind?
People did that with Iron Man, dude.
Yeah, the Mark V was on screen for like a minute.
But you saw it do something.
Yeah, it
fought
did.
Whiplash.
No, but even all the other ones from Iron Man 3, like fucking
The House Protocol.
Oh yeah, those are
Boost
whack.
and
Yeah.
fucking
Bones is cool.
Igor and all those fucking.
Igor played a
Iron Man
role.
suits
He saved his own life.
for like 4.5 seconds.
However,
That's what I'm saying. Like that matters.
Thanos is alive today without Igor stepping in.
I'm gonna piss everyone off here. I would buy a Knight of Ren. They weren't on screen that long. I would buy them. Praetorian Guards, they're pretty dope. They did some cool shit though. They did some cool shit.
No, they didn't. They did
What
not
cool
do
stuff do they do
anything
besides
cool.
dance in Snoke's throne room?
They danced pretty well though.
Yeah, with the disappearing blade.
Yeah, that was some shit right there. But,
I love the spin around and the spin back around.
Yeah,
That's my favorite
right.
move.
Yeah. Some of the choreography, but when you watch it in real time, it's fine. But when you watch the slow down
No.
version, you're like, this doesn't make sense.
It's dumb as shit in real time. You're like, just go
Cover
stab
your ears,
her.
Will. Cover your ears, Will.
Just go stab
Well,
them.
it is
What are
pretty
you
fucked up,
doing?
Dean, where like he has a knife and then
There's-
suddenly he doesn't have a knife. Yeah.
There's 6 of you. Just stab them.
Right.
Stop
Dean.
trying to justify Will.
Dude, it's
Never
good,
gonna
Dean.
work.
Let me have this. Let me have this shit. No, Last Jedi I'm not crazy about, but I like the other two a lot. So anyway, that said, guys, let's talk about more Batman shit. So we got to talk about the Batman, the Batfleck, and the Bat Cycle. So I saw something, by the way, where someone was saying that Ben Affleck doesn't want to give out his likeness anymore or something. And I do kind of understand because this looks nothing like Ben Affleck. This looks absolutely nothing.
Ben Affleck loves money. There is no life.
I guess, but supposedly, like I saw that on there, like this doesn't look like him though. this doesn't look like Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I don't know who that looks like.
yeah, I don't know who the fuck this is, like comic Batman or like Arkham Batman or something like that. I'm not sure who this is supposed to be, but it's supposed to be Ben Affleck. But that said, Kiko.
Is it supposed to be Ben Affleck?
I guess. I don't know,
It
bro.
never says that in the trailer.
Well, he's in the trailer, isn't he? Yeah, I mean,
Well,
You
Ben
do see
Affleck is
Bruce
in the
Wayne,
trailer, but
yeah.
it never like explicitly shows that this is Ben Affleck. I
Wouldn't
think
that
it
be
might just be a
hilarious?
different Batman.
that would be
They're
wild.
traveling all over the place. Who knows what's going on?
It doesn't look like Ben Affleck. That's all I know. So, and we're gonna see Kiko. Will collectors commit to another Batman? Because we got a lot of Batman shit coming right now.
For those that only collect Batman, probably. If you collect other lines, I don't see how you responsibly can say, I'm just going to get all of these from a film that's not even out yet. We don't even know if it's going to be good. I know everyone's like, well, they're not going to let it be bad.
I don't
don't
know
know
if
that.
matters.
Sure it does. Think about the things. If it is tainted with shit, no one wants that. Last Jedi. Do you want things that look cool sitting in your shelf?
Kiko, you bought Crate Luke, bro. You bought Luke.
As a joke. For replay boys. As a joke, I bought it.
That's true, but still.
I think sometimes depending on the character, it doesn't matter. Especially Batman, because it's not like boring and stupid as shit in these movies. He's at least entertaining.
Yeah, he's
That's
good.
fair,
some
and it's not
degree.
like his character is going to be assassinated and he's not going to be Batman anymore. You know, I mean, he's always going to be Batman. I mean,
Right.
Well, I don't think
that's
Ben
a good
Affleck's
point.
coming back, but
I'm talking about the Batman character
oh, right,
itself.
right.
You know, Bruce Wayne, or depending on what storyline you're following, Batman's always going to be Batman. He's not going to just be like, I've gone to the Batcave to die. I don't want to be here anymore. It's time for crime fighting to end. The Joker
that's what
won.
Alfred wanted, but
Yeah.
yeah, didn't happen. Yeah.
But yeah, will they collect? Sorry, we went off the rails there. But will they commit to another Batman? Maybe. Everyone's been crying for the blue cow. I want the blue cow. Oh, here it is. Well, there's my collector complaining voice. I want the blue cow.
The blue cow.
Oh, the lighting doesn't look like I thought it would. I don't know. This one's going to be about as posable as Tactical Batman, and people are going to complain about that one too. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, I have no interest in this. I'm excited to see the film, but I know there are a lot of Batman fans out there, a lot of Batfleck fans out there. I'm not the biggest DCEU fan so far. I mean, I don't like everything they've done. Some of the stuff, yeah, I do really like, but I'm excited personally for what James Gunn is about to do. I think it's necessary, so I'm fine with it. But Dean, I want to ask the question, bro. Are collectors going to commit to another Batman? Because, I mean, the Bat Cycle does look pretty cool, though. Got to give him that. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think Batman is one of those characters. Like it's like Iron Man. It's like any version of a bat suit that's out there, people will buy it. People fucking love Batman, man. They just do. This one looks cool. Like Kiko said, the blue cow, a lot of nostalgia. It's kind of like an updated tech armor, kind of cool looking thing. The bike is pretty rad. Yeah, I think people will buy it.
I mean, I don't know, Dean. I think you're right. I think some people will, but I'm wondering, is Batman big overseas? I guess he is, right? I mean, I know in the States he's pretty fucking popular, but there will always be a Batman franchise running. Let's say that, right?
Oh,
like that will never end. It's same with Spider-Man too. Spider-Man will always keep going.
That was another point I was going to make about the Batman Armory thing. InArt's hot on their tails making Batman.
Right.
They announced like what 3 or 4 different Batmans that they want to do.
Right.
Who knows when we're going to see them? But Hot Toys is probably going to want to chuck out every fucking Batman possible. So that's another reason why I thought the Armory was going to come out. But yeah, I think if InArt has the Batman license, I mean, he's got to be popular overseas too, because Hot Toys has been making a bunch of Batman. So
yeah,
dude,
it's interesting to see, man. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this, but you know, the base is pretty cool. I like the Bat Cycle. I think the suit looks cool, but as far as the head sculpt, yeah, I guess maybe they're not going for. I don't know if they're not going for Ben Affleck here. I'm not really sure. But.
Someone put up the neutral portrait and showed it next to like a younger Keaton, and it was kind of like, is this supposed to be a young Keaton? Because like I said in the trailer, it shows this Batman while Ben Affleck is talking, so you like assume it's Ben Affleck, but it never like shows his face long enough to be like, oh yeah, that's Ben Affleck. It's like,
would be pretty. That's a wild theory, Dean. That could really surprise people. Maybe it's a young Michael Keaton, like CGI Michael Keaton.
That's the first thing I thought of when this popped up. It was like 3 a.m.
And why isn't this why isn't this one in the Armory then with all the other Keaton suits?
I can't. I don't
be a
know.
Spoiler. Yeah.
I mean, does Batman only have 6 suits? I don't know. The Hall of Armor didn't.
Alfred didn't wash them.
Yeah. It could be an alternate timeline. It could be Affleck. The first thing I thought of was like, maybe it's a totally different guy. I didn't really think Keaton immediately.
Yeah.
But
maybe it's John Robin Blake.
That would be pretty interesting. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. Ben Thomas thinks that Keaton is actually Thomas Wayne. That's like an alternate reality Thomas Wayne, where Bruce died and Thomas Wayne took up the mantle when his kid get killed.
Wow, that would be interesting.
That would be crazy. But so it's like, well, maybe this is Thomas Wayne in an alternate reality, like, because clearly not Ben Affleck, but it's like, who is it? It's got to be somebody, because they don't just make Hot Toys from movies with random people.
We need to start passing around that blunt right now, because it's starting to get real deep right here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
is,
like,
bro.
It's
And you
clearly.
guys think my tinfoil hats are wild?
I'm just saying, Hot Toys doesn't make movie figures with head sculpts of random people.
Yeah,
they've never done that before. Why would they start now? If they don't have the license to make Ben Affleck, they're probably just not going to make Ben Affleck. So it's like, well, who the fuck is this?
166 Marco said, dude, love to see. He said, you and Ben need to stay off the weeds.
I've never done weeds in my life.
So, yo, hear me out, bro. Hear me out.
Yeah, right. It's like, bro, hear me out on this one, bro. It's not even Ben Affleck.
Do you think that...
Yeah, I know. Dude.
I wasn't gonna finish my thought.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for some. I was waiting.
Okay, but like objectively, look at the sculpt. It's not.
Ben Affleck. Yeah,
and
right.
their head sculpts have been pretty good in the past with the Batflex. So it's not like they just shit the bed randomly. Like, this is on purpose, not supposed to be Ben Affleck. So it's like, who is it?
I think you could be onto something, Dean. I think when you said that, I was like, fuck, that's a really good point, actually. Because Ben Affleck's talking, so you kind of get that misdirection. They could easily be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it could also be him and it's just a shitty sculpt. I mean, that's also very possible.
I just don't see how. They've done Affleck figures before that are good. It's like, you didn't just reuse a sculpt, you use this one. Like, I would much prefer a reused sculpt than this.
Right.
If it's supposed to be Affleck.
Right. So so Larry Walker said, my friend just saw the movie, said it's Affleck in the movie. So if his friend saw the movie,
okay,
it's Affleck. And I pulled it up I just did it to spite Daniel, because Daniel said they won't pull it up and keep speculating. I was like, and yes, I will. The hell I won't. He baited me and I did it. So anyway, but thank you so much, Larry. Thanks so much, Daniel, guys, for the comments. But anyway, so yeah, so another Batman. We'll see if people commit, and yeah, should be
okay. If that is Affleck, that's fucking crazy that this figure is looking like this.
Yeah,
that's unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Dean, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do delays build expectation?
Are we in the multiverse right now?
Oh my dude, fuck! Dude, I love you, bro. That was fucking.
Y'all are some fuckers. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull up Present Toys John Wick, okay? Because I want to ask the question: no, I'm just kidding. Do delays set expectations? Are we settling at this point, right? Because John Wick, we have a Present Toys suit killer, right?
Solid name, by the way.
Yeah, it's solid, right? So, however, are we settling? Because look, I think most people would agree with me that the Hot Toys head sculpt for John Wick is not that great. It's kind of.
It really wasn't.
It's okay, right? I had it for the time; it was good. The Max Nut one was actually better, surprisingly.
I got the Max Nut one on mine. It was badass.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. So that one's actually pretty good. Not perfect, but it's certainly better than the Hot Toys one. Now we have a Present Toys one. This is for clear. It looks like to me from John Wick 1 or even John Wick 2, maybe. I don't know, one of the two, right? But very, very clearly, obviously one of those two. You get the nunchucks. I guess it's John Wick 4 then, because it has the nunchucks. But to me, this looks like John Wick 1. He looks less aged here. He looks younger, but nonetheless. I don't even think we have a price on this point. I was looking for it on Kit's website. I couldn't find it. So Present Toys is announced this John Wick suit killer. Are we settling at this point, though? Because Hot Toys has announced John Wick, and then they pulled it back. They rebutted their announcement. So I don't know if that's even going to happen. I'm assuming it still is. Hopefully they can fix and make the head sculpt better. I have my reservations and doubts about that, because they put out that Johnny Silverhand figure. It's the same head sculpt as previous, just with a new hairpiece. I have a feeling they're probably going to do that again if they announce a John Wick. For the people who do want a John Wick, should they settle on this one, Kiko? What do you think?
The idea for it's like, please reissue more John Wicks or whatever. I can find John Wicks fairly affordably on the secondary market. I don't think if you want one, I don't think you are able to not get one at this point, because I've seen them readily available. Maybe people aren't just looking in the right spots. But I will say, for a nicely tailored suit in both white and black shirt, I'm considering getting two, just so I can basically put some of my other head sculpts, like a Rhodey head sculpt in a suit. That way I can just basically keep him outside the War Machine armor. That'd be cool. This gives you an opportunity to give your head sculpt some run if you really don't want, this thing. That's what I'm considering. Do I have any interest in this as John Wick? No. Do I think it looks good For present toys, probably. I can see this probably being $200 and calling it a day. And so to give me 2 suits in black and white, I'm for that. But are you settling? I mean, how much do you really want a John Wick? And how much did John Wick 4 figure change from the John Wick 3 figure? It didn't, or wouldn't really, you know. I mean, granted, I didn't go rush out to see John Wick 4, so correct me if I'm wrong. Outside of a few battle damage pieces, what really are you looking for? And if you really want the higher quality figure, just run and get the John Wick 3. But maybe I'm just crazy and I'm missing something here. So are we settling? Probably.
Right. I think we are. I mean, I personally don't like this very much. I like the suit. I like the tailoring on it. And maybe the sleeves are a tad long. I got to watch the film again. The sleeves seem a little long, but I'm not sure. But the head sculpt, I see the likeness there to a degree, but the hair and the paint apps, I think that's what's kind of letting it down. It looks third party. Let's be honest
Looks like
about it.
his cousin.
Right. It does. Like I see it in there. It's just
It's James Wick.
Yeah, it's James Wick or Johnny Wick or something. I don't know. Or Johnson Wick.
Jake Wick.
One of those two. But yeah, so Dean, bro, are we settling at this point with this John Wick? What do you think?
If this is John Wick 4, shouldn't he be missing a finger?
That's a good point. I mean, he has the nunchuck, so I feel like it should be John Wick 4. I mean, he didn't use nunchucks in any other film.
Also, the long sleeves articulate better when you have them bent. It looks better.
That's fair.
Just wanted to point that out. This is not the best. This is, I would say, this is settling, but if it's your only option, which it's not, I mean, you could buy this figure and swap out the head sculpt almost immediately. There's so many John Wick head sculpts on the market, it's not even funny. But
you're
you
not
could
hurting
also,
for options.
yeah, you could probably also kit bash this figure for cheaper if you really wanted to. It's also very lacking in like weapons, nunchucks, and a gun. Like, come on. I haven't seen the 4th one. I'm assuming he uses more than a gun and nunchucks in the movie.
To be called Suit Killer, he doesn't really have a lot of killing devices.
Yeah, like, but to be fair, Present Toys usually makes a pretty good product. I feel. How much is this?
Not sure yet, but I would, like Kiko said, probably around 200 or a little bit less.
For this, I wouldn't pay more than like 160 for this. I mean, you really aren't getting much. A few hands with too many fingers and a gun and a base. Like, come on. Although it is 2 suits, is it 2 whole bodies?
I don't think so. No,
I was gonna say if it's 2 whole bodies, I'm all in just because I want 2 bodies and 2 suits.
Yeah, that would be.
But
nice.
this would be a good, like, for real, Kiko. You have a point. If this would be a figure, you could easily get a custom John Wick sculpt or the Max Nut or whatever, Dean, and make this. So
yeah. But just as it sits, just like this, I feel like you're settling.
Right. I think so too. But guys, look, if you need a John Wick, I understand if this is in the budget, but I don't know, man. I have this thing. I don't know if everyone feels the same, where if you have a bunch of really good figures that you really like that are high quality, then you have something like this, it sort of brings down the level of everything around it because it sort of devalues that entire sort of theme and collection that you have. So I don't know. I don't like that personally, but to each their own. If you love John Wick, I get it. But I get it why this is almost more appealing for buying the bodies and the suits than it is the head sculpt. But, you know, yeah. Keith, by the way, said Dean hasn't watched any movies this year. It's true. It's true.
I watched Spider-Verse yesterday.
Dude, I liked it. Did you like it?
Yeah. It had its issues, but it's good.
Yeah, it was good.
Really
but,
good.
I won't talk about the ending, but the ending I have problems with. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see how that goes and shakes out over time. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on that one. And we're going to move on to our next topic here. I want to ask the question. Let's get into something pretty interesting. I'm going to be the Jerry Springer of 1/6 collecting here. So, do you care that your hot toy loses value the second you buy it? Because look, I think in the market we're in nowadays, right? A hot toy has become, I guess, a sort of depreciating asset, like a car. Like the second you buy it, you know, it's less valuable than when you bought it. But a car you can actually drive. You can do things with. You can go to Tennessee. You can go to Texas. You can go and do fun things, right? You can go get Texas BBQ in your car. That's pretty great. So I haven't experienced it yet, but I will. That said, Hot Toys, do you care about the losing value here? Because look, at the end of the day, you are collecting for the enjoyment, and that's really what it should be about, right? But I think it's almost smarter nowadays to not buy something for retail, knowing that you don't have to, because you can go and pay less later down the line as it's inevitably discounted, unless you just want it really fast. I get that. But at the end of the day, second you buy something, the less valuable it is, right? Does that matter to people nowadays? Kiko, I want to ask you, as a collector, is this something you ever think about or really care about?
I don't care the fact that it loses value the second I buy it. What I care about is when the price I bought it for goes down like the next day. Back when I used to when I used to pre-order things way back when, and then as soon as on release, like the next day they drop, because of market values. That pissed me off because I was like, well, how come if I would have waited literally one day, I could have saved $50? It is what it is. But I like speed, so I want to have it now. I don't plan on getting rid of these anytime soon. And I think that's we really, as collectors, or I guess 6-scale collectors, really are very short-sighted when it comes to value, because everyone who knows anything about like stock markets and things like that, everyone says the dumbest thing you can do is, when things go down, sell it immediately before it takes too much of a loss. The whole point of stocks is to keep it in to where you can eventually rebound and then have it go back for more. If you look at it like that, as far as collecting goes, there's some people that only been collecting for like 2 years, 3 years. So yeah, there may be a lull, but that doesn't mean that everything is going to be worthless eventually. You do have to kind of play a little bit of a long game. And so for me, I am not looking at them as investments. I've said that before. I like to know what they currently go for, but the collecting world is so fickle and can change on a dime so fast. And the market's completely controlled by Howard in the chat here, is what he's saying. I can go drive to go buy a hot toy or whatever. I don't care if it loses value the second I buy it. What I care about is in 5 years, 10 years from now, if a life event causes me to have to say, okay, I need to move some things out of here. Am I going to get absolutely slapped in the balls for these things and lose massive amounts of money? Or will they, at minimum, just retain their value? That's what I care about at the end of the day, is that, okay, will I get something for this? Are they still going to be desirable to where somebody is going to be able to buy this to take it off my hands at some point? But you got to play a lot. You have to look at it at a much wider time frame. Think of it, I bought 5 figures this year. I paid this much, and they're only worth this now. You got to think a lot bigger than that, because do you think anybody in 1977, when they bought their first Star Wars figures for 89 cents, thought that someone would be worth $3,000? No. But and there's no way to ever predict those things about what's going to be worth something or what's not. People have been trying to do that ever since the 70s, when collecting became a big thing with action figures and such. There's no way to know that. Enjoy the stuff you got. Be happy when it comes in. If you want to pay a little bit extra to get it super quick, like me, go for it and enjoy it, because then you don't have to worry about, is mine going to ship or is it not? So that's the way I look at it. I don't really look at the value thing. Yes, I know what I paid. Yes, I know what they're currently go for. And I'm fine with that. I'll evaluate how much they're worth when I need to move them on.
Yeah. You know what's pretty crazy, Kiko? Speaking of that whole idea where you just addressed there, Funko Pops, some Funko Pops, the exclusive ones, go way up in value. I didn't even realize, right? One of mine wasn't even exclusive. I love Last of Us. So I bought the 3 Last of Us Funko Pops, Clicker, Joel, and Ellie, regardless, right? And I was just looking for Last of Us art prints the other day, and the Funko Pops popped up. Them things are going for like $300. So I sold mine because I was like, I have a ton of Last of Us stuff. I don't really need the Funko Pops. $235 for those 3 Funko Pops. I probably paid $30, $40 for those, right? So, I mean, sometimes you just hit a jackpot, you don't even realize it, right? So it's hard to kind of predict that and guess and get it. But yeah, sometimes things will happen and the value is not the end all be all, but it is a nice little bonus if you get lucky sometimes. But yeah, but I mean, I also saw, for example, I bought my Shang-Chi, right, from Kit, and I got that pretty much day one or pretty close to it, right? And I paid sideshow price basically for it. And I was very happy about that. I saw on eBay, he's going for like 170 now. So, I mean, and it's been like what, maybe a month. So it's just an interesting time that we're in.
And you made a good point at the very beginning of this show. You said Gwen's got a big part in Into the Spider-Verse 2. For people that don't want to wait, that Gwen price might go up, and she might be
It
more
could.
desirable because people
I think the
may
first
want
miles
her
will
now.
too.
So
Yeah,
for sure.
The first miles will. Dean, what do you think, bro? I want to get you to hop in on this one. What do you think about this? Do you care about any loss of value there?
Not really. I don't buy other than for myself. So I mean, it's super rare that I ever sell anything. And I'm kind of like Kiko. If I know I want the figure, I don't care to wait for a 15% off or whatever. That's what, shipping $15 is not going to kill me. If it is, I shouldn't be buying figures in the first place. So I really don't. I don't care about what a figure's going for unless I'm trying to buy it. Like it. If I'm trying to buy it day one and I could get it cheaper off of some guy selling it, sure, like that's cool. But if I know a figure belongs in my collection, I'm even if I bought it from Sideshow day one and it dropped to $180 the next day, half of what I really wouldn't care. It's just like, well, I want it in my collection, I have it in my collection. I even said it way back. You can probably find it if you really look for it. Like when the Krennic figure was coming out, we were like, I think this figure is gonna be like a holy grail. And I was like, yeah, even if I knew for a fact that this figure was going to be worth like 3 times as much, I still wouldn't buy it because I really don't love that character. Because I don't buy things to flip and rip off the next guy either. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I don't really care for that. And I feel like sometimes people get like caught up in that and you're kind of missing the point of what we do. I mean, if you're just in it for the money, I guess that's fine, but I'm in it for my collection. I want my space to be mine. So I don't really.
And that's what I love that you said. Make the space yours. And for as much as we love to get on what's the new hotness and all that, I think, Dean, you said that you pulled up that Blade Runner figure. A lot of people probably doesn't have that because that is yours. And I don't think you went around saying, oh, what's the market value on that? Is it worth more? And Captain Rex, let's see those Captain Rexes out there. No, I got my Blade Runner, things like that. So that I respect and love. And then the Westworld figure from 2 weeks ago, things like that.
Yeah. This thing's badass, dude.
Oh, there he is right there.
Hey, you got that. Nice.
Beacon, he shall appear.
Dude, that thing is nice.
The skull in person is so much better. The camera does not do
tailoring is elite as well.
Yeah, the tailoring is elite. Did you get the horse, Dean?
I did not get the horse.
Dude, but it's on Big Bad if you want it.
I did get his proper pistol.
Dude.
I don't know if I showed that.
Because I have the horse, Dean. I love it, bro. The horse is great.
Nice. Yeah, they gave him just like a generic single action revolver, but he uses a custom Lamont, which is like a revolver and a shotgun. This is a shotgun barrel. It's a smaller shotgun round, but
interesting. Dude, that's a nice figure. That's a nice figure. Guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on that one. We have one more topic for the evening, and then I'll let everyone enjoy their fine Friday. However, we want to go in with the final topic here. So I want to address this real quick. We don't have to spend too much time on it, but collectors buying used and old figures. This is something that we all consider, that we all think about. I want to share an example that I just did recently, right? I made an ISO post, and I was looking for my boy. I sold a few things to be able to fund this because I was like, you know what? I really want a Darkseid Anakin. And I've said, and I maintain that they are going to, Kiko disagrees, they are going to make another Darkseid Anakin. And I do feel it's going to be a DX. I do feel it's going to have 2 head sculpts, light and dark. However, what I thought was originally, I thought it was going to be Kenobi. Now I'm starting to think that it's probably going to be the Revenge of the Sith anniversary in 2 years. So I was like, you know what? I kind of want a Darkseid Anakin. So I sold a few things, moved a few funds around, and found one. And I bought one basically brand new from a collector. So it should be here Tuesday. So I'm really excited about it. Sent me a lot of updated photos and videos. Very excited. It's basically brand new. It has the paper on it. So it's great. So That said, should collectors buy used old figures? I'm generally a proponent of not collecting backwards. However, sometimes there is an exception to be made for a certain figure that you just feel like, man, I really need this. Maybe there's no prospects. I do feel, again, this Anakin's going to get made, so I don't recommend everyone just go and buy an Anakin in any second. But if you really need an Anakin, I get it. That said, Kiko, should collectors buy used and old figures? Because there is some risk there. I don't tend to buy used much anymore. This is the first time I bought used in a long time myself.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, how are you going to get certain ones? Because talking about Han and Chewie, where else are you going to get them besides a used old figure? If you want a Tarkin, where are you going to get it besides a used old figure? If you want Hulk, Avengers Hulk, you're going to have to buy a used old figure. Now, the idea of used versus old, I think you and I differ on this, Will, about whether or not you'll get something used. I mean, there's that idea, factory sealed. How do we know that for sure? For one, when someone is selling that once it's already in hand or whatever, everyone's like, well, opened up only for inspection. Really? You sure about that? So, I mean, you got to be real careful when you do buy anything. That's why I personally go to eBay to buy a lot of my things, just in case I get dicked. You're covered pretty much 100% on eBay. Yeah, you might get in a bidding war, but you may get in a good deal. I mean, just like that original George Lucas hot toy that I got, the famous types. I got an incredible deal like that, ungodly deal. But that was a used old figure because I wanted to have those in there. So I don't think there's anything wrong with doing so, but you do run the risk of knowing that a inevitable reissue or the definitive version could come out at any time, and there's no way, and then you'll be butthurt if you overpaid or something like that. But that ties into the topic we just talked about, is that you shouldn't be looking at it as anything other than, do I have funds to buy this right now? Is it a fair price? Then you buy it. There shouldn't be the, oh, I lost $50. Damn, something like that. Let it go. Be happy that you have something in your collection. And now, Will, I'm so excited for you that you will have a slot on your shelf filled with something instead of a cardboard cutout of something that you hope is going to be there. There's nothing better than actually having something. So that's the only way you can actually get something sometime. But if it doesn't make sense to you, you're like, hey, I'm never going to pay over retail. That's cool. If you can find one under retail, then it better. Go out there and go find those things. But if there's certain things that you do want to run down, you will have to buy used and old. Just ask questions. Make sure you know what you're getting. And always have some type of buyer protection, whether it be eBay, PayPal goods and services, buy within your country, things like that. I'm always very, very. Now, there's one last thing I'll say is that I got super excited about one deal one time, and I'm like, okay, and I made an offer, and they accepted it. And then when you do like the interview or the looks afterwards, you find out where they're located. It said UAE or something like that. I'm like, what is that? And so I'd already committed, I already paid. I found out that it technically is US based, but they were stationed in Germany at an Air Force base, and they still use the post office. So the United Military Post, or whatever it's called, handles all that. So it's still technically a local shipment. So I was panicking until I found out that it was a German Air Force military veteran that was sending it overseas, and it still got here faster than my InArt Joker. So there you go.
Right. That could be something. Well, and I will say I've had this Anakin before. I bought him retail from Sideshow way back, and I sold him because someone offered me a ridiculous offer for it. So I did it. And it was the one figure that I think I missed over time. So I was like, I'm going to get this one back because I really want this one in my collection. That said, Dean the Dream, bro, round us out here on this discussion. What do you think about buying used or collecting backwards?
If it's a figure you missed, I don't see a problem with it. Usually you're going to be paying more, but sometimes that's your fault. Like one of my favorite figures here in the collection, Guts from 3-0. Mm-hmm. I had a chance to buy that at retail and I didn't, and it cost me like double. So that was on me. But it was like, I know for a fact this figure belongs in my collection. Now, for your case, Will, you owned this figure before.
Yep.
And you sold it.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't convinced it belonged in your collection the first time, I would not have spent the money to get it again. Because that's a lot of money. Now
Dude.
you sold yours for a lot.
Well, I'll be transparent with people like I always am. So I sold mine for $760 at the time, right? I
Okay.
rebought this one brand new, $545 shipped.
So you're still in the green.
So I'm still in the clear, yeah. And I bought it for
Okay.
I think under retail at the time, so it was under $250 or something. So
Okay.
yeah, Dean. The one thing I will say about that is the only reason I sold Anakin is not because I was looking to sell him, but because someone gave me that ridiculous offer. I'm like, someone's going to pay me almost $800 for one figure. That's why I knew I always wanted to get him back. I was also banking on a 2.0, which hasn't happened yet. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's why. But
All right. Well, that would be my only caveat. Is like
that's fair.
if you had already owned it and you moved it along, it's like, I mean, did you really like it that much in the first place?
Right.
I mean, there are instances where you sell something you immediately regret, like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
I get it. But I know Zach has bought and sold the same figure like 3 or 4 times sometimes. I'm like, bro, stop.
Can't do that.
You
No, I
obviously
can't do that,
don't like it enough.
Right.
I think, yeah, it's your collection. You do what you want, guys.
Yeah, it's understandable. Well,
I
guys,
do need to comment
go
on
ahead.
Red when he said UAE is United Arab Emirates. I misspoke. It was APO, Army Post Office, Armed Forces, Europe, Middle East, and the United States. So
Oh,
if you buy from the APO, it is still the United States Post Office if you're stateside.
Interesting. All right. Well, there you go. Guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on that one. I'm excited to pick up this Dark Side Anakin, so I'm glad we got to explore a topic through it. That said, guys, we're going to wrap it there. So thank you so much for joining this fine Friday. Hopefully we led you into the weekend in a honorable fashion. So we try to do our best here. So Mr. Keco Collects, bro, what's coming up on the gram, on the YouTube? I know the YouTube, you haven't been as active lately, but the gram, you're dropping some fire.
Always got good stuff going on. The Gram just put up some Wanda pictures. Anybody? Wanda? We got some Wanda pictures up there, so feel free to check that out. There's a Wanda reel dropping tomorrow. But then, as I said, I was at ICCC with Dave, made some content for YouTube. So there is going to be a vlog coming to coming out on YouTube.
That's
Believe
good,
that or not. Crazy stuff.
Did you
And
coin
then-
that?
What?
Content?
Oh, I see
What
what
did
you
we
did.
say?
Content.
I do like that. It just hit me. We're having some.
Oh, you didn't do that on purpose?
No, it wasn't on purpose, bro. It took him a while to figure that out.
That's why I was just like
I was like,
walking
oh,
around.
pretty good.
You better believe that's going to be in the thumbnail or in the header. Some content coming your
See,
way.
Dean just created a fucking
So, boom.
thumbnail for you, bro.
So, and then also excited that if you are local, we do have the opening of Replay Toys coming down the street. They moved to a new, nicer spot. So I'm excited about that. So Eat, Sleep, Collect, Replay. So feel free to check out Replay Toys. They do ship worldwide. So there you go.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for joining, bro. And of course, Dean the Dream, bro. What's coming up on Collecting Weekly? Because y'all are always doing some hot stuff over there. What's going on?
Yeah, so tonight we're not doing anything tonight. John, the Everyday Collector, is moving his statue show to his channel, so go check him out over there. And then I think we're doing some gaming content tomorrow. Might play Red Dead. I'm not sure. Monday we got unboxing. I don't know what we're gonna unbox. I ran out of figures to unbox. Tuesday we got the main show. You know, basically what we talked about tonight, just the new figures that we come out during the week and stuff like that. So it's a whole week of content.
That sounds great, bro. Collecting Weekly, guys, check them out. They always do amazing stuff. Guys, of course, there's other reviews on this channel. I dropped the Mando Luke review. Other videos, of course, will be the clips out there. Other content coming your way. Lots of fun stuff. And yeah, guys, thank you so much getting everyone out of here before 7 o'clock. So enjoy the rest of your fine Friday. Thank you guys for participating. Thank you so much for being so generous with the super chats, with the channel memberships. I really appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully I have some exciting announcements for you guys coming soon. So we'll see. Working on some stuff. I think it should be fun. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I will catch you in the next one, as will we all. Thank you. Bye. Have a good weekend. Bye.